Okay, 1803. Ms. Mashale, it's clear that everybody starts with you, so let me not break that trend. Let me firstly thank you so much, I think, for coming up with, the courage to do the work that you've been doing over many years. I'm sure that being a whistleblower is not easy, and indeed we do commend that courage and bravery that you've shown. But you said as you were speaking that some people call you information peddlers. Who calls you that, and why would they do that?
Yes, it has been a name, even General Kumalo said that when he came here. So the people, the very people whom I've exposed in the corruption, in an effort to discredit me, then they say, call me the names information peddler. But what I also told them to say that, you know what, if I'm an information peddler, that means that I'm peddling wrong information. And when someone is peddling wrong information, at some point it amounts to a criminal offense or defamation. So then they must take the required steps against me, because I'm always make sure that all the information that I shared, I must have at least evidence to support the information. Otherwise, I will be an information peddler if I just share information without evidence.
Okay, no, excellent. So I mean, you've obviously just said that evidence is very important, the importance of verifiable information. And I assume in your case, I mean, you just said that minister took things off your Facebook. You also understand responsible use of social media. Okay. Now, I would be remiss, obviously, if I didn't start with what you said about Minister Kodwa. Now, you said you received, then Deputy Minister Kodwa, you went there, but you received information that he said the president wanted you to get information. I think in your affidavit, you said about ministers who are plotting against him.
We met with him at a garage, at an engine garage, but I was not in the meeting. It was him, my husband, and this Mr. Mike Makwa in the meeting, whereby Mr. Mike Makwa was giving him the information to say, George Mashale have this information relating to, I believe everyone remember the illegal military training camps, the unlawful firearms. There was a lot of information that was shared with the minister. The minister said, I'm going to assemble a team from SSA to come. There was a first meeting to come and investigate this matter. Because when Mr. Mike Makwa spoke to me and he gave me the information, I was speaking to the president, and the president said this is an urgent matter that we should look into. Because what
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Ms. Mashale. I'm very low on time.
Okay.
Ne? So I hear the other things. I want you to zoom in on when Deputy Minister Kodwa said give him, he says, so somebody says to you that Deputy Minister Kodwa said, the president said, if I've got it right, that you must give them information about ministers who are plotting against the president. Now, I'm very keen to find out, where would you get information about ministers that a whole SSA DM would ask you, and you even say now when you were responding that you were going to come back to him with information on ministers? Where would you get such information?
Remember, I said from 2008, me and my husband have been receiving information from various people, including politicians and ministers and premiers and whoever. So the information was there. The people who gave the information to my husband, they were there. And most of these people were people who were inside crime intelligence, people inside SSA. So my husband, Mr. Mike Makwa, was also working at SSA. My husband shared this information not just with Mr. Mike Makwa, but also with General Sithole. But General Sithole never acted on this information because there was a letter that I personally wrote to General Sithole to say, General Sithole, we want to bring you in contact with the sources of the information. General Sithole sent General Mfazi to meet with my husband. General Mfazi met with my husband and General Mfazi said, I need to meet with the sources. So my husband said, you know what? The sources are not comfortable to meet with you. So General Mfazi went back to General Sithole. Nothing happened after that until Mr. Mike Makwa.
That's fine, Ms. Mashale. So you have a dossier database
Yes.
that you keep information on ministers, deputy ministers.
Not just ministers, everyone where there is wrongdoing detected. It doesn't mean if I say ministers, I mean that the ministers have done something wrong, but we receive information.
In what capacity are you, sorry, what capacity are you receiving this information?
At the time I was working at a South African police service, I don't believe you have to have a particular capacity when people trust you with information.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I need to run quickly. I don't know if you listened to Minister Mhunu's testimony, but in paragraph 99 of his statement, now this is him explaining to us why he trusts you, right? He says, you posted, so on 24th October 2024, in a Facebook post, Ms. Mashale indicated that Major General Khumalo and Lushaba, both implicated in corruption, are trying to get rid of Major General Khan because Khan seized a 30 million consignment of drugs during the July 2021 unrest. He says this is your post. Who's Major General Khumalo?
Lieutenant General Khumalo.
Is it
not-
Lieutenant
yes.
General Khumalo? Okay.
I think at the time, yeah, he was Lieutenant General Khumalo, not Major General Khumalo.
Okay, now, so according to you, why would Lieutenant General, well, I'm sure Major General October 20, okay. Why would Lieutenant General Khumalo and General Lushaba want to get rid of Major General Khan for seizing this consignment of drugs? And what evidence do you have to back up what you're saying?
Okay. The information that I received is Major General Khan are going to be charged through Regulation 9, and was indeed charged through Regulation 9 for seizing of that consignment of drugs. He was indeed charged. General Mkonazi came here and
Sorry, his charge was seizing the consignment of drugs?
yes, he was, they implicated him to say that he was the one who gave the instructions that the other police officers must take the drugs away from the crime scene. It was the charges against him.
Okay, so he was not charged for seizing the consignment.
He gave the unlawful instructions that the other police officers, he was indeed charged. Lieutenant General Mkonazi came here and he said, and me and Lieutenant General Mkonazi had a conversation about that. Lieutenant General Mkonazi came here, he said, I was appointed as the presiding officer in that matter. There were messages circulating on WhatsApp where there was allegations that General Mkonazi was appointed specifically with a mandate to dismiss General Khan. Since me and General Mkonazi was on a very good, we spoke on a daily basis. I asked him,
Sorry, Ms. Mashale. In your Facebook post, though, you said Major General Moses Makubo, the one who dismissed you, was the presiding officer. Was it Makubo or was it Mkwanas?
no, Makubo was not the presiding officer. It was the presiding officer was General Mkonazi in the case of General Khan. Was General Mkonazi came here to testify about that.
So it may have been an error in your Facebook post.
Might have been.
Okay. That's fine. So you then further went on and you said that a criminal case was opened against Khumalo for forging his security clearance. Do you have the case number?
I believe there was a investigation. General Brigadier Tlungwani came here and he also referred to that investigation whereby the Inspector General of Intel, there was a complaint submitted relating to the first security clearance. It was found that it was fraudulently issued to him and it was withdrawn.
So there was a case. If you could please.
Not the case, it was an investigation.
No,
It was a complaint that was submitted to the
In your
Inspector General of
Facebook post, you
Intelligence.
said that there was a criminal case opened against Khumalo. You then also indicated that informers of Lieutenant General Khumalo are paid 600,000 and above, while other informers of junior members are paid 3,000 rand. Can you expand on this, how you got this information and whether it's verifiable?
I would also refer because the person who gave me the information told me, he said, I just saw a claim that was signed by General Lushaba for 600,000 for informer. So please, and the informer's claims was kept at 3,000 rand. While informers place their lives in danger, there are certain informers who are getting huge amounts of money. So please, when you report this, please request an investigation into the informer claims, into the informer files. That amounts that have been paid out would reflect on the system.
Ms. Mashale, when people tell you things, because clearly there's a lot of people who tell you a lot of things, do you ever ask for anything to back this up? Because somebody will tell you this, we ask the generals, they deny it, you go post it on Facebook, and then we ask you, what verifiable info can you give us? And you say, somebody told me. That can't be correct.
Usually, when I received a information, usually relating to crime intelligence, I report it to the office of the inspector. I have the evidence here, all the evidence. I have reported it to advocate.
You supply evidence, Ms. Mashale,
Yes.
or you just say somebody
Yes.
said.
I get the information, I get the evidence, and I have the evidence that I reported it to Advocate J. Governor.
Thank you, ma'am. I do want to move to Mr. Dokyeni. Can I request that this allegation that General Khumalo is paying 600,000, so the same evidence you had submitted, if you could share it with the portfolio committee, please, I mean the ad hoc committee. This is quite a big allegation.
I can.
My last two questions. In your Facebook post in September, you put detail that mirrors a criminal case that was brought by one of the members of parliament, Honorable Fadel Adams, relating Lushaba, Khumalo, and what. Now, the information that General Mkhwanazi gives us is that all of this was classified information. Can you tell us how you got it?
I never received classified information. I never posted classified information on Facebook.
The documents referring or the detail referring to Lushaba, missing computer, a sex worker, General Khumalo.
That information.
That same information is the one that has landed Honorable Adams here.
Let me explain to you.
So how did you get it?
There was a case that was investigated by warrant officer, I will get his name, relating to the sex worker. Warrant officer Pope. What happened? General Lushaba goes to Valeria police station and open a case of house robbery. And when he arrived at the police station, he said he was robbed by this lady. General Pope get the allocated to investigate this house robbery. Through is a normal investigation. It's a normal investigation. Through the course of his investigation, he found that General Lushaba lied. He actually invited the sex worker to his house and she stole the state phone, the state firearm, the state laptop. And as a result of that, he opened a case of perjury and defeating the ends of justice against General Lushaba. After that, warrant officer Pope gets charged. They charge him criminally departmentally. He's now dismissed as we speak. And Colonel put out, take the docket that was investigated.
Let's stick with the answer. So you're saying the information is not classified. So what we received saying the information is not classified, Honorable Adams, for example, was not entitled to it, is incorrect.
It's not classified information.
My last question for you. Is there a reason why your whistleblowing seems to focus only on one faction of the SAPS, if I can call it? So you're accusing General Kumalo, you're accusing General Masamula, what? The other side of the SAPS, nobody's given you any information about them, say General Sibia, other generals?
Do you know that General Sibia took me to court because I exposed also him on social media? That case was decided in the Free State High Court on 8 August 2024, and the judge make a decision in that case that as a whistleblower, I'm entitled to expose corruption. There's a
Okay,
decided
so you do expose both, not just
everyone.
one side.
I don't see the reason to choose sides because corruption is corruption and you don't need to.
Okay. My last question for you. What would you recommend that Parliament and government does to strengthen the protection of whistleblowers? I mean, as I said right at the beginning, it's dangerous work that you're doing. Would you have any recommendations for this ad hoc?
You know what? When you are a mother and you last have a normal sit down with your children 4 years ago, because you're in exile, you cannot meet under normal circumstances with your children, then the government must really sit down and take notice. Because I'm not the only whistleblower who are living in these circumstances. When you report the wrongdoing in open cases and the people that you reported the wrongdoing against are still in the positions in power, then it means our government is not serious to protect whistleblowers. And that's the reason why whistleblowers are afraid to come forward and they instead give the information to us. We have made the decision that I cannot be silent about this.
But you're in hiding now, Ms. Mashale. How should we protect you? I'm sure in the whistleblowers WhatsApp group, you do discuss the reforms that you would like to see.
All I want is for the government to stand up and say that this is a whistleblower who risked her life to stand. I don't want recognition. I don't want compensation. I just want a normal life. The government must come forward and say anyone who retaliate or kill a whistleblower must be harshly dealt with. We cannot go on like this.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Mashale. Truly, truly appreciate it.